what do you think is the American dream?
When we were growing up, I would tell them, I'm going to be a star.
Karlie Red.
Karlie Red.
Karlie Red.
Hip-hop Atlanta star Karlie Red.
People wanted to know, what is her age? That was the most Googled thing on the internet besides Justin Bieber. And then one day, I remember I was at a Rihanna party and I looked back at my notes and I said, wow, I accomplished everything that I set out to do.
Do you believe in the law of attraction?
Absolutely. One thing I realized that you can stand out because a lot of people give up.
Are there any regrets when you look back?
I wish I would have worked harder. In the beginning, when you're in this lifestyle, in this Hollywood lifestyle, you're getting handed everything like, oh, here's drinks, here's this, here's that, and you're, oh, party here, party there, party there. I wish I would have took that time and said, you know what, no, I'm gonna focus.
Is it true that you already work as a sex therapist?
Yes. It's a big percentage of women who've never had an orgasm. And these women, they contact me all the time and say, help me, help me, help me. So I went back to school, got my sex therapy license, and now I know how to use a sex toy.
I've heard that you are having the same attorney as Donald Trump.
Yeah, same attorney as the US president. He's good. My life is just like a microscope. Every little part of my divorce is public. I wanted a marriage with no abuse. That's not what was handed to me.
Before we jump right back into this episode, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for watching or listening to this podcast. It really means the world to my team and me. And there's only one tiny little thing you can do to support us, and that is subscribing. It is 100% free for you, but it helps us a lot. So please hit that subscribe button now. Just do it. I promise you won't regret it because we give our best to come up with amazing meetings with Americans. Thank you so much. And let's get back to the interview. Meeting with Karlie Red. Welcome to the show and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
You're living a life in the public eye in America. How is it to be famous here in the US?
It is challenging at times because of the internet and, the comments and, my life is like a microscope now. Everyone's looking into my life. Everything that I do is important.
Mm-hmm. How does it make you feel?
It feels good at times because I can be an example for someone else. I can, a lot of women hit me in my, inbox and they say, oh my gosh, because of you, this changed my life. And, I cried today because of you. And, so sometimes, but then sometimes it's kind of challenging because it's like, oh my gosh, they, the commenters, the bops.
Challenging in what way?
Because people can comment on your life and they know nothing about you. They only know what they see on television or they only know what they see in, on the blogs. But they have so much to say about just a 30-minute spectrum of your life.
Mm-hmm. You are a reality TV star. How do you build such a personality on television?
Oh, wow. I just really be myself, I'm myself, but at the same time, when I'm home, I'm just relaxed,
Mm-hmm.
and I take it by storm every day.
Do you feel kind of pressure being in the public eye?
Sometimes it's a lot of pressure, but most of the time it's just, I love what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And because I love what I do, it becomes easy for me.
Mm-hmm. And do people recognize you in the streets or do you try to hide?
I'm hiding.
Okay. How you do that?
I'm hiding. I mean, when I, have to go to the store or something, I put on a hoodie, like a top and glasses, and I'm definitely hiding.
Mm-hmm. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. There was a show that made you famous, I would say.
Yeah, I would say that's the show that made me famous. Yeah, I was always into movies, commercials, and I've been doing this for a long time, all my life. I've done many, many shows, but I would, Saints and Sinners is definitely popular as well.
Mm.
But Love and Hip Hop is the one that they noticed the most. So yes, I would say that that is the one that made me popular.
And how would you say did it reshape who you are, who you were maybe?
Yeah, because before this show, I could walk down the street and no one would notice me.
Mhm.
And then, once this show came on, my life is just like a microscope, any wrong move, I could be in every blog. I could go viral with any wrong move. Any right move, I could go viral.
Mhm.
All I have to do is just post anything on my Instagram and it's going to go viral.
Yeah, yeah.
For
But
whatever reason.
there are also many upsides of this.
Yes, yes.
What would you say is the biggest upside of being, yeah.
Because I can use my platform
Mhm.
to help people with my foundations.
Mm.
I can also use my platform for many businesses that I may own. And that brings employment opportunities to the communities, So either way, I'm using my platform as for the good, for the good.
And the show also shaped like the scope of reality TV in the US, I would say.
Yes, it did.
Do you think so?
Yeah, it did. It did.
And how does this make you feel like being part of something like that?
Being part of history.
Yeah.
It feels good. It's just, it's just challenging at times because, they're like, oh, you're a vet. You know what this is. You know how to handle, they expect me to be able to keep going and handling everything the way that I do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you feel some weight on your shoulders for that?
I do feel a lot of weight on my shoulders sometimes because, like I said before, it's a microscope.
Yeah.
And I was telling you, earlier that I'm going through a divorce, right?
Mhm.
And every little part of my divorce is under a microscope. Everything that I'm going through, anything in my relationship is public.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at any point in time, you may get a divorce, someone else may get a divorce, but it wouldn't be public.
Mhm.
But for me, it's public. And I mean, it is what it is.
Mhm. So would you say you are going through a tough time or a challenging time right now?
Yes, I am going through a challenging time right now. I am going through a tough time right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What way would you say? I mean,
Divorce is not easy.
yeah.
Divorce is not easy. And in my marriage, I went through I'll just say this. I wanted a marriage with no infidelity. I wanted a marriage with no abuse. But that's not what was handed to me. So going through that and then that being public just made it 10 times. So if I'm just going through something with my boyfriend or something like that, but just being public is now 10 times harder to go through that.
Because everyone knows about what's going on in
Yes, and
in your marriage.
they have their opinions on my life.
But do you think your story could inspire other women?
It has.
And help other women too?
It has. My story has inspired other women. I get so many, questions and so many people talking about, what they're going through in their inbox. So what I decided to do is, okay, you turn lemon into lemonades, right? You make a nice lemonade. And I said, okay, I'm going to choose a foundation. I'm going to partner with that foundation. I'm just going to help a lot of women who's gone through the same thing that I'm going through.
That's inspiring. Did you always want to be a role model? Like, let's talk a little bit about your childhood.
Yes.
You were born in New York City, I guess. And how was life in your childhood?
It was good. My family's from the Caribbean. They're from Trinidad and my dad is from the Bahamas and he's American as well. And my family's strict. Very, very strict. I grew up with my dad in a restaurant, very strict. My mom, she started out, taking me to auditions and, casting with me with all these, all the roles that I've gotten over the years. My mom started this.
Wow.
Yeah. We were on the train one day and she said, oh, someone came up to her and said, hey, your daughter's beautiful. Let's put her in commercials. And it just went from there.
Mhm.
And then I continued that path, but she was like, my family's so strict. They're like, no, you have to go to college. You have to finish school.
Education.
Education, education, education. I'm like, but this is what I want to do. This is what all I know.
So it felt natural. It felt like your purpose.
Yeah, yeah. And it's so funny. My friends who are celebrities now, right? They told me, they said, you know, when we were growing up, even my family, they would tell me that when we were growing up, I would tell them, I'm going to be a star.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I said this. They're like, yeah, you used to tell me this all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be in movies. I'm going to be at this. I'm going to be that. I'm like, really? I used to tell you that? I say, yeah, I used to say that. So now that I'm older, you know, that is very important. Be careful what you say because you might eat those words.
Interesting. Are there any regrets when you look back to how you started your career, how it, like, everything came together, the decisions you made?
I wish I would have worked harder.
Harder? Okay. Why?
I would have gotten way further.
On TV or what?
Just in general, in life, I just wish I would have worked harder. You know, in the beginning, when you in this lifestyle, right? And let's, you know, just be honest with you. In the beginning, when you're in this lifestyle, in this Hollywood lifestyle, right? You're getting handed everything. Like, oh, here's drinks, here's this, here's that, and you're, oh, party here, party there, right? In the beginning. So I wish I would have took that time and said, you know what? No, I'm going to focus as much as I focus now. I focused then, but I wish I would have focused a little bit more.
Okay, that's interesting. Because
I would have been way farther than I am right now. Way farther.
what would be your dream?
Oh my gosh, there's so many dreams I have.
And you just told me you do many different businesses and everything.
I do music.
You're multi-talent.
Yeah, I'm multifaceted. Yes, I'm quadruple talented. I do music. I own businesses. I own real estate. I take care of my mother and my father. Literally sole caregiver of my mom and dad. So I'm the head of the family, you know, even when your mom and dad is supposed to be the head of the family, I'm the head of the family.
Yeah. How old are your parents?
They're 70.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 70. But I'm the head, like the head of the family. Like I get called for doctor's appointments with my dad and everything. I'm the head. My dad doesn't eat without me. My mom's same way. I'm the head.
So you're really close to them.
Yes. Yeah. I'm the head of the family.
Does it make you feel proud?
No. No, it doesn't make me feel proud or anything. It just makes me know that I have to work 10 times harder. Because if I don't, you know, who are they going to depend on? Who are they going to go to? So like I said, I wish I would have started this life I would have been way further. I would have, imagine if I wouldn't have partied as much, if I wouldn't have went out as much and, you know, being amongst celebrities and living this rock star lifestyle. I wish I wouldn't did that in the beginning. Then I would have focused and I would have had way many more restaurants. I would have had many more real estate. I would have had, you know, just more.
Yeah. Speaking of restaurants, you're about to open a new restaurant in Atlanta.
Yes. So this is my second location.
Yeah.
And you know how it is. In the beginning, it's really hard. You got to knock out the kinks, get the right employees in there, and then everything is going to go smooth.
Okay. Are you excited for it?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Cool.
I'm excited.
Coming back to your dream, what would be your dream life? Like, if you would have worked harder, what would be your goal?
My dream life would have been, my music would have taken off way more than it did right now, right? That if I would have started from back then, my music would have taken off way more. Many more businesses. I would have had probably, I have product line in stores now, but I would have had, my product line would have taken off by now. Just so many dreams.
Yeah.
So many.
Do you think it's important to have that mindset you have to be successful, like always wanting something bigger and better? Or do you think sometimes there needs to be just satisfaction and being happy for where you are in life right now? Do you think that's a big issue for people who are like you, living a life in public?
Yeah.
Because there could always be more followers, more listeners, more viewers.
Yeah. For me, I'm not satisfied.
Mm.
For me, I'm not complacent. I want more, that's for me. And, in this industry, right, it's always a different trend. It's always, something new coming out.
Mm.
Now we have AI, we have this and we have that. So we have to keep up with what's going on. Otherwise you get left behind.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it's always, for me, it's just always more. It's always more.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. This question I'm asking like all of our guests on this show, what do you think is the American dream? And is it still alive, in your opinion?
Yes, I definitely feel like the American dream is still alive.
What does it mean to you? Or what is your personal American dream, maybe?
The land of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
The land of giving opportunity. So not just having opportunity, but also giving opportunity. Not just loving yourself, but also loving others, helping each other get to that goal.
And you're doing that as a business owner, right?
Yes. And my foundation's definitely doing that. Yeah, because once you give, you get back.
Mm-hmm. Does this matter to you? Like,
absolutely, it matters to me.
Yeah.
Because one thing I realized that when you give and you give and you give, you're gonna receive. You're gonna receive. It's just the way the law, works.
Mm-hmm.
And the American dream, it's about the land of opportunity, but also taking advantage of the land of opportunity. It's so much you can do. It's so much you can do. Mm-hmm. It's just, and I've traveled all around the world.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that in some countries that you're not allowed to do certain things.
Mm-hmm.
They're more strict than America, right?
Mm-hmm.
The American dream, they're more strict. So taking that opportunity that I have and just running away with it.
Okay. What's your favorite business model that you're in right now? Is it the restaurants, or is it, like you said, do a lot of real estate too?
Yes, real estate, restaurants. I own product lines.
Mm-hmm.
I do so many. I own a book. I do so much. My music.
Yeah.
Acting. I'm on different television shows acting, not just the reality, but also my acting life. I would say that my entertainment part of it, music and acting, is probably my favorite because I love it. The restaurant is my favorite because I love being around people. I love people to smile. I love to see people smile. I love, even my employees, when they're, happy about working at the restaurant and fulfilling their dreams, that makes me happy.
And does it feel like home to you? Because you said you grew up with your parents having a restaurant.
Yes, it does feel home. It does feel home. And I'm trying to go back and, open up my dad's restaurant. Because I told you earlier, so my dad, just so that the people know, growing up, my dad had a restaurant, right? And then whether I had a good grade or a bad grade, I had to work in a restaurant. So subconsciously, that's what I was supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's what I'm doing. So
back in New York City, you open up your dad's restaurant. Wow.
Yeah, I want to open up my dad's restaurant. I'm working on it right now.
What does he think about that idea?
He's sick, so he understands, but he doesn't really understand.
Okay.
Yeah, he understands that. Okay, this is my restaurant. He knows that this is his restaurant, but he doesn't understand. Like, wait a minute, it's closed, or what's going on?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You also have one daughter, I guess.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
She was also on the show, actually.
Mhm, mhm.
How is it for her growing up? In public also.
Yeah, my daughter's spoiled. She's spoiled.
Yeah.
And I am not doing I continue to spoil her. I'm not doing a good job. I'm spoiling her. Oh my gosh. And I can't help it. I don't know how, and for her, growing up in the entertainment industry, it hasn't been too easy for her because she does a good job at, okay, I'm going to ignore everything they say about my mom or my family. I'm going to ignore. She does a really good job at that. I don't know how it might affect her. I try to, but she's so engulfed in, okay, this is what I got to do. This is for my life. What's going on with me? That she really, really does a good job of ignoring the noise outside.
Okay, interesting.
Unlike me.
That's something you can learn from her.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, she had to because she was like in public all the time.
Yeah, I tried to keep her away from it for so long. But I got ridiculed by the world. To this day, they still ridicule me. They still, people are still saying, oh, you don't have your daughter. You never took care of your daughter. That's not true. It's just that you guys didn't see her.
Yeah. Because
I kept her quiet. I kept her out of the public.
Yeah.
So now that they see my daughter, they think, oh, she never had her daughter. She doesn't. That's not true. I had my daughter. I just didn't let you guys see her.
Yeah. Is the feedback you get sometimes? Yeah, of course it is. But
it hurts. Absolutely. It hurts because people don't know. They're assuming I didn't take care of my daughter. They assume that I didn't, wasn't around my daughter. Of course, I worked a lot. Yeah. So just like any parent, I worked a lot. So of course I had a nanny. I had my mom to help me. But my daughter was still always with me. She never, it's not like I sent her to boarding school or anything, but because she wasn't in my life, because I didn't have her in front of the camera at the time, people think, oh, well, maybe she didn't have her daughter.
Okay, interesting. And does she want siblings? Are there any further plans for children?
Yes.
Yes, there are.
Yes, I want a boy. I want a son so bad. I really do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my daughter thinks I'm crazy, but it doesn't care. I don't care what she thinks. When it comes to that, I want my own. Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Do you think you will fulfill your daughter's dream of having siblings? Or your own dream?
I want to have another child ASAP because my clock is ticking. So we got to hurry up.
Okay. Speaking of age, I guess you didn't reveal your real age, right?
Yeah. I mean, people, that is like, I found out one day that was like the most, I got a check because they said that was the most Googleable thing on the internet. People wanted to know, what is her age? Yeah. That was the most Google thing on the internet besides Justin Bieber at the time.
Is it because you lied about your age when you were still young? Made yourself
because
older
I just
or
wouldn't
younger? You just wouldn't. Okay.
I just wouldn't tell, and I erased everything you would want to know about me on the internet. I had someone go in and just erase everything, and so people were like, "Well, what, boy, how old is she? How old is she?" I was just like, "It's not that serious, Jesus Christ."
Yeah, but it's cool. I mean, a little bit of mystery is never bad, and as you said, people would search for it on the internet.
Yeah, it was the most searched thing on the internet at one point.
And your daughter, how old is she?
Yeah, she's in her 20s.
She's in her 20s. Same thing.
Yeah, let her tell you.
Cool. Okay, so, but you want to have children again?
ASAP.
ASAP. Oh, wow. Okay.
I want to have a boy ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
I was even thinking of getting a donor at one point. I was like, because I mean, like I said, but then I got married. And then we went through IVF process, right? And we have 2 embryos there right now.
Yeah.
In the in the IVF
already. Okay.
Yeah, and lucky thing we were really gonna go through the IVF process and for me to have a boy. Lucky thing I didn't, because if I would have, we would have gotten the divorce.
Okay, but now
So, I mean, like, I was saved, by, a stray bullet. I didn't go through with it, but imagine if I did.
Mhm.
Yeah, because a child is serious.
Yeah.
And I definitely wouldn't want to have a child by him.
Mhm. Mhm. You're going, like, speaking of the divorce, through the divorce, you said it's a tough time for you, of course. And I've heard that you are having the same attorney as Donald Trump did back in Georgia. Is that true?
Yeah, yeah. Steve Sadow, he's the same attorney as Donald Trump right now. And yeah, that's my attorney. He's good.
Same attorney as the US president.
Yeah, same attorney as the US president. He's good. He's great. He's amazing. He's amazing. And thank goodness he took me on as a client, because he does not take everyone on as a client. And he's not cheap.
Did you know that he's working with Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew, and I was like, oh, I hope he takes me. And he definitely took me on as a client. So I definitely, shout out to Steve Sadow.
So you strive for greatness in everything you do,
I
right?
strive for greatness in everything I do. My other divorce attorney is Randy Kessler. He is, he's took on, I mean, oh my gosh, he's many celebrity clients, Usher and Portia Williams and everyone.
Usher is from Atlanta too.
Yes.
Why did you choose Atlanta as your home base?
The show. The show, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta.
That's why you wanted to stay in Atlanta?
Yeah.
I mean, for your restaurant, for your businesses?
The show.
Yeah.
I will say this. When I lived in LA, I lived in New York, I lived in Chicago, I lived in all the places. And I did start businesses there in those other places. And it just seemed like Atlanta was they were more susceptible to everything that I was doing. They were more like welcoming, like, okay, you want to start a business here? They made it more easier,
Fertile ground for your businesses?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we talk also on the show to business people and they say the same.
Yeah.
Also, when it comes to AI, that there's a great environment here just to get started on projects and create something, actually.
It is. And yeah, it's such a good place to get started. I will say that. And to continue going.
And there's a lot of things you got going already and got started on.
Yes.
Is it true that you already worked or still do maybe as a sex therapist?
Yes. Every once in a while I get calls and say, hey, my last gig was a bachelorette party, a bachelor couple. They wanted to, talk to me about, before they got married, they were having some sex troubles, and they wanted to talk to me about, how they are in the industry as well. And they wanted to talk to me like, how do we navigate, sex in this industry? And I was like, okay. So I sat down and I spoke to them, and I taught them, how to, and then I got another call from a whole bachelorette party. She wanted me to teach the girls how to do different sex tricks.
Oh, wow. Her friends.
Yeah, all her friends. But yeah. But funny story about that, how I got into that was Doc Johnson. I don't know if you know who Doc Johnson is.
No, unfortunately.
So they are the #1 sex toy company in the world.
Okay.
Right? And if you Google it, it's called docjohnson.com, right? They've been around since, oh my God, way before the 70s. They've been around forever, like way before I was born, right? That company is grandfathered in, like literally from, that company's been around forever, before I was born. And
I didn't know that sex toys existed like more than 25 years ago, because that's your age probably.
Yeah.
Yes,
exactly. So this company, they contacted me and said, hey, we would like to give you your own sex toy line. And I was like, sex toy line? Oh my goodness. I was like, let's have a meeting. I'll go to one of your, they had a panel, they had a convention. I said, okay, I'll go to the convention. I'm at the convention, and they were like, yeah, speak, you're Karlie Redd, speak. And I'm like, okay. And I was stuck. I didn't know what to say. I was so like, and I'm listening to everyone, and I was just stuck. And I was like, You know what, Karlie? You need to go back to school and do some learn about sex therapy. It's no way that you're going to sell these toys and you don't even know how to use them.
Okay.
So I went back to school,
Yeah.
got my sex therapy license, and now I know how to use a sex toy.
Oh, how did it change your life?
It
I mean,
didn't change-
speaking of you as a role model also for other women. inspiring.
Yeah. It didn't change my life because my sex is good, but but it definitely changed the trajectory of, how to teach women to have an orgasm. It's a big percentage of women who've never had an orgasm.
Yeah.
Huge percentage of women. And these women, they contact me all the time and say, help me, help me, help me. So yes.
How would you define orgasm?
How would I define orgasm? It's really mental.
Mm-hmm.
It's mental.
Mental in what way?
It's your mental. It's whatever's going on in your mind. That's how you can define an orgasm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whatever's going on, it's all mental.
Interesting.
And it's a percentage physical, but it's really mental.
And what do you think is the reason that so many women, also here in the US, but I guess worldwide, never had an orgasm?
Because they haven't tapped into their mentality that, the way that some women have grown up, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. So some women haven't tapped into it.
And different in what way?
People grow up on all walks of life, and some people are different from each other, and they just haven't tapped into their inner self.
Okay, that's what I mean. When did you start tapping into your inner self?
Oh my gosh, I didn't stop tapping into my inner self till I was in 25, I wasn't allowed to do anything like that. I wasn't allowed, but I did it, sneak,
Yeah.
I got married when I was 18.
Oh, yeah, that's early.
To my daughter's father. But I had to sneak. We literally snuck around, and we got married because my family wasn't having it.
Mm-hmm. How was it? Like, you were young, you were on television.
He passed away. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And for your daughter, was it like bringing you closer together?
Yeah, she still, she misses her dad. She still affects her.
Mm-hmm.
She misses her dad.
Who is the father figure for your daughter right now? Going through a divorce?
Me.
You are both parents
I'm
in one.
everything. I'm everything. Yeah.
You're multi-talent, as we already said. Interesting.
Yeah.
What would you say was the toughest time in your life?
I've had so many tough times, tough moments. I mean, I don't know if I could say a toughest, because it's like, it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or the happiest time?
Oh, definitely. I have plenty of happy moments. I have a happy moment every day.
Like the cup says, find joy in each day.
Yes, I'm happy every day. I have happy moments every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day.
Do you think that the US, because I saw the flag behind the cup, is the greatest country under the face of the earth?
Yes.
How many people would consider it? Yeah.
Yes.
And why is that?
I mean, it's the land of opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are there more opportunities here than anywhere else?
We do have but it's the land of opportunity.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think about?
Because I travel, and it's like some countries, they don't allow you to do this. You can't hug. You can't do this. It's a lot. We allow a lot. Sometimes too much.
Speaking of guns, or would you say that's a good thing?
Yeah, we allow a lot. We allow sometimes too much, but it's the land of opportunity for a businesswoman, for a woman, Look, we almost had a woman president.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're the land of opportunity.
Almost a woman as president, but now it seems like both sides are drifting further away from each other than like a long time or ever before.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about what's going on in this country right now?
It's a lot. I mean, I don't really, I try to stay away from, the answer of politics because it's just so much
Mm,
going on.
mm. Because it's interesting for me as a German visiting the United States and
Yeah.
trying to speak or meeting with Americans.
Yeah. How's it
basically.
been?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, this conversation is great. I love talking to you, and I always ask about politics, and sometimes people say, I'm rather not answering this question just because it's so polarized here.
Yeah.
And I think that the parties are very divided, but many people I talk to would wish there would be something in between, or like
Yeah.
they say, I'm not as far right as the Republicans or as far left as the Democrats. I'm just want something in the middle.
Yeah.
And I guess that's just not possible because of the
Mhm.
system here.
It's either, it's
Yeah.
just like on my show. They're like, hey, you got to choose a side.
Oh, is it? On your-
Yeah, on the show, it's just, a lot. When the girls are not getting along, they're like, you got to choose a side. I'm like, why can't we just all get along?
Yeah.
No, you got to choose a side. So I get it.
There has to be some trouble so that
Yeah, yes.
the audience stays hooked, right?
Yes.
What have you learned about like doing all these shows and also working as an actress about television and movie and what people want to watch and what they don't want to watch?
Okay.
Because entertainment there's no place
Yeah.
where entertainment is
And
bigger as in the US, I guess.
one thing I've learned is that people don't want a boring show.
Mm-hmm.
Trauma sells.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Drama sells.
Mm-hmm.
If
How can we get some drama into this
Right.
podcast?
right, drama sells. It's the shock value. It sells.
Mm-hmm.
People want to see because they don't want a boring person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And why do you think entertainment is so big here in the US?
Because drama sells.
And there's the biggest drama in the US?
Yes.
Yeah? Would you say that?
Yes, drama sells.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If you would start your own show, what would it be?
One show, it would be like receipts. Just bringing the truth, the honesty, showing the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Receipts.
Mm-hmm.
Another show would be probably like For the Love of Karlie.
Okay. What would that be?
Like, who loves Karlie? Who hates Karlie? Another show would be a money making show, like, about challenges, about, who can make the most money.
Okay, interesting.
Another show, I have so many ideas.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it away. Can't give it away to you guys.
And are you also applying for other shows? Are you going
Yeah,
on
we
auditions?
audition every day.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here in Atlanta or in the US?
No, here in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, because now that everything is online, you can just audition and send it in, no matter where it is, because everything's online.
Okay. What's your next big thing?
Oh, I can't tell you, but it's coming. I can't tell you because you know how it is. It's like they say, you can't see how the industry is. Can't really say what's happening next. They don't want you to tell.
Okay.
Yeah, you signed this big old NDA that you can't talk about it.
And what would you say would be most inspiring that you could put out in this world?
So after I moved out of my mom's house, right, and now I'm 18 years old, I moved out, and I still wanted to fulfill my dream. What I noticed for me, I literally wrote down my biggest goals, right? I wrote them down, whatever those were, right? And then I would do 3 things every day towards my biggest goal. And then one day, I remember I was at a Rihanna party, New Year's Eve. And this is when Rihanna first came out. And I looked back at my notes and I said, wow, I accomplished everything that I set out to do. I really set a goal and I stood by it and I didn't give up. be your own motivation. Like, motivate yourself. Get out there every day and make sure you accomplish your goals. That matters. Because, I mean, I could, just set out a goal and then just give up so easily. Love yourself.
Do you believe in the law of attraction? I mean, you wrote it down. Did it help you in your life to become so successful?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And what would you tell others about this law who have never heard about it?
I would say it works. I would say that it's so important to know, literally know what you want and be passionate about it and write it down and make sure that you so serious about it. Write down, like I said, I wrote down 3 things every single day. And if I didn't get those 3 things done, I was literally punching myself. I was getting so upset with myself if I didn't do those 3 things per day. I would be like, oh, I'm mad at myself. I didn't get it done. And to this day, I still do it. I still write down those, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I get upset with myself, like, you didn't handle it. You didn't handle it. And it really helped. It really helped.
Because there's so many young women who want to become famous like you are, or go on auditions, TV, movie, music also.
It's easier now than it was back then.
Do you think so?
You have the internet.
Yeah.
It is the answer to everything. I didn't have the internet then. So I had it way harder, but I got it done.
Okay, because that would be the optimistic view on that. If I played devil's advocate, I would say it's so saturated nowadays. And there's so many shows out there.
It is saturated, but you can stand out because a lot of people give up. They give up.
What does it take to stand out?
Be yourself. Don't try to be anyone else. Have your own motivation. Remember, I told you in the beginning, love yourself and love others. Give back.
And speaking of AI, what do you think will AI change in the industry in the next
It's already changing.
5 to 10 years?
Lord, it's already changing.
Yeah.
It's already changing. I mean, who doesn't use chat? Who doesn't use ChatGPT? It's changing, But one thing chat doesn't have, it doesn't have feelings. You cannot change feelings. You can't change a human being's feelings. So if we as people continue to have feelings and emotions and not treat everyone as a robot, then we'll be okay.
And do you think AI will one time replace humans on TV shows maybe too?
No.
No?
Not the emotional part. No. No.
That's interesting.
It will replace like background work.
Yeah.
Like, the background people, right? Because now we have background, so the people in the background, but it won't, you can't change emotions. You can't change feelings. They have no feelings.
Yeah.
When people watch a movie or a television show, they're watching emotion. They're watching people's feelings. They're watching, that's what connects you.
Yeah.
The drama is coming from a feeling, right?
Yeah.
The drama is not just coming from a robot. The drama is coming from a feeling. That's what I connect. People resonate with me because of my feelings.
Interesting. And I remember what you said a couple of minutes ago about the American dream. It's also about helping others achieve their dream. And I did some research for this interview. I went to your restaurant and I really enjoyed the food there.
Thank you.
And I talked to your employees and they love you.
Yeah.
So how do you do that?
I honestly, I don't do it on purpose. I don't know. It's just, I treat them like a family. I treat them like a family and I understand that they're human beings. They're not just employees. They're not just workers. I understand that they're real people and they're going through things.
Do you think that's the most important skill when it comes to leadership? Or what does it take to become a great leader?
I think that is a very important skill when it comes to leadership. You know, they had this show, I think Oprah did this show where the CEO comes to and visits, and he's just like, he feels sorry for, he comes out from the boss comes down to visit the employee, and he gives them this gift and things like that. Yeah, I think that is important, to treat your employees like they're a part of you, to care. We don't have that anymore. No one cares. Let's get back to caring.
But why do you think no one cares anymore? Is it the internet? Is it social media?
I think so. The internet has destroyed us, but I mean, it also helped. It also definitely helped.
You said destroyed us. That's a
Meaning
big
like
word.
as people. But it also helped, it helped the industry, it helped the world. But as people, we really need to get back to caring about each other and loving on one another.
How do you ground yourself? I mean, you seem to be on the internet all the time because you have to.
Yeah, I travel a lot. That's how I ground myself.
What's your favorite country outside the US?
Oh my gosh, I don't have a favorite because I love it all.
You could have said Germany.
I told you I love Germany, right? I told you what happened with me in Germany. The United States Army flew me to Germany. I had the best time of my life. I love Germany. Oh, I love Germany. I had a...
What did you do? They'll tell our audience.
So, well, like I said, the Army flew me out and for their event, and I hosted it and I performed. I had a great time, got to meet all the soldiers. We went out, a lot of drinking.
Beer? Did you like the beer in Germany?
Yeah, I love the beer. I was, oh my gosh. Yeah, I had a good time. I had a great time. The people are nice.
The people are nice.
The people are really nice.
People are nice here too. Like very welcoming, I would say.
You in Atlanta.
In Atlanta? Not everywhere?
Atlanta is definitely, it's called the city of hospitality.
Karlie, I really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you.
I ask myself, how do you stay so headstrong in a world where many people, especially when it comes to social media, and we're talking about this, throw so many rocks?
It is hard. I will say that. It is hard to not respond to everyone. But I do, they say that the less you like on my social media, right? I limit myself looking at negative things.
Oh, okay.
So I limit myself thinking about negative things, talking about negative things. I stay closer to God. But I also pour positive things into my life. So the more positive things I pour into my life, I can weed out the negative things. So if I'm always laughing, if I'm always happy, then I don't have to, stop looking at all the negative things that you see every day on social media or all the comments. Stop looking at it, because then that's all you're going to be thinking about. What did this person say about me today? Oh, I got to respond. What did this person, have your algorithm, the algorithm. My algorithm is God. My algorithm is my family. My algorithm is looking at different families and just positivity and billionaires. My algorithm is money making. Have your algorithm the way you want to set it to, the way you want to see it.
Interesting. You mentioned first your algorithm is God. Would you say or consider yourself very religious?
Oh yeah, I would definitely say I'm spiritual. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would definitely say I'm spiritual.
How did God help you?
Oh my gosh, that's my number one source.
Wow.
That's all I think about all day. It's my number one source. It's my everything.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
A friend of mine has a podcast in Germany. He's talking to famous people about their faith, I would say. And it's so interesting. So what would you say if you were asked about your faith? Why is faith important to you?
You have to believe in something or fall for anything.
Mm. Mhm.
So if you don't believe in something, you can fall for anything.
Mhm.
I believe in everything that I love and all my might. I believe in God. So I don't fall for anything because I believe in something. I believe in God.
Was that difficult? Because you said when you started your career, living that Hollywood life, it was hard to say no to things. Did you learn that? Or did God help you
God
learn that?
definitely helped me, for sure. Absolutely.
How do you mean, how you mean that?
I mean, I literally, I set a tone that I'm going to pray every day. I literally set a tone to pray every day at the same time.
Mhm.
So it was like a ritual for me.
Mm.
And like I said, you don't believe in that, you're going to fall for anything. Whatever it is your belief is,
Mm.
whatever you believe in something or you'll fall for anything.
Mhm. Karlie, we have this closing tradition on our podcast, and it's basically our last guest
What's that?
has left a question in this book for you, our next guest,
Okay.
but he or she didn't know who will be the next guest. You're also allowed to leave a question in this book for our next guest. And your question is, what is one thing you would want someone from another country to know about America?
What is one thing?
I mean, I'm from another country. That's a
Right,
good question,
right.
actually.
Yeah, what is
But-
one thing I would want you to know
about America?
about America? I would definitely want, you know, someone to like, I think that this is misconception about, the American people, that we're selfish and we're that, that we definitely, we help people.
Mhm.
We definitely help people.
Mhm. And I would say after talking to you, that's maybe one of your purposes to help other people
To help other people.
live their American dream. Right?
Yes, live their American dream.
Karlie, thank you so much. I really enjoyed talking to you. Thank you for your
having
time.
me. I appreciate you.
And yeah, I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Yay!